Okay, so this is,
So this is how to make an oil bottle, and it's one of those things you're gonna have to neck in the top, and then
It looks like you're like about 3 to 4 inches out wide.
let's see,
and how much clay is that?
1.5,
1.5, okay.
and it's 4. So I'm bringing it out to 4 inches. So I'm just gonna go straight down. And let me just measure that. Grins and giggles. So it's about 1/4 inch.
Okay.
And I try to do these so I don't have to trim them. And so,
Because then you have to make a finger.
yes.
I try to avoid that thing.
And I'll go in and square it up with my square rib to compress it. Don't forget to compress, otherwise you end up with a load of bisque that has cracks in it. So I'm just gonna bring it all in and do first claw pull.
So you can pull so much more to pull than I can.
I
Of
know
course
that my claw pull isn't like that.
She's
at all.
only done how many?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course,
Thousands?
you don't
Right.
have a long bit.
And so I try to get this part, the height, and then I'll start necking it in. And okay, so I'm just gonna dig in there, pull that up, and I'm pulling up, and I'm kind of bringing it in towards the middle as I pull up, just so I don't have so far.
You're getting so much height in 2 pulls, I can't believe it.
Crazy.
Now, what are you using the sponge for?
So it's doing 2 things. It's help keeping the wall wet. So I use it.
Use on as your outside form.
Yeah, I'm using it on the outside. And then I try to get like this base part, let's see, where are we? Yeah, about 5 inches before, so I bring this up to 5 and then I'll start necking it in for the oil bottle. So I'm gonna do one more pull just to get a little bit more height. And then depending what shape you want your oil bottle to have, I kind of like them to be a little bit rounder on the bottom. So I'll just take my metal rib and I'm just going to round it like that.
So pressing in from the
Yeah,
inside.
so I'm pushing in and I've got it all the way at the bottom and I'm just rounding that bottom part. And then I'm just going to come straight up.
And that also kind of takes the goop off and
Yep.
compresses a bit.
And then I'll kind
I
of
think
check.
that's like 7 inches now.
Let's see, it's right on, is that 7? No, 6 inches.
6 inches.
So 5 is where I want to neck in. So I'm gonna just kind of make a little mark there so I can tell. So it's gonna kind of go up. So it's rounding off and then I want it to kind of come
Do you have
in.
it a tiny bit thicker on the top part?
Yeah, well it'll get thicker as you push it in too.
Okay.
Because as I start coloring this in, it's gonna thicken up. And I just make sure everything's nice and wet so that you don't stick and twist.
I think my problem was I was starting to collar. I would go all the way at the bottom and
No.
go up.
And so I'm just working, so this is the only part I'm gonna work on right now. This is pretty much done except for a final
Okay.
shape at the end.
I think that's why I went.
And so first of all, I'm not even doing this thing yet. I just kind of put my fingers around just to kind of get everything towards the middle.
Yeah, a lot of people show you that you have to start at the bottom and,
Yeah, no, because then you're bringing all this in. You've
yeah.
already
And
set that.
That would get mushy on me and collapse.
Yeah,
because
so
I
it's
was
like,
working it so
yeah, so you're
much.
just working in sections. First thing is to get this the way you want it and then work on this. And now this is all thickening up as I bring it
Yeah,
in.
and
But
then-
I'm just gonna bring it in to start with before I start pulling it up. So now I'm just gonna do a pull from right here where that 5 inches is. I'm not even gonna worry about this stuff down here because I'm all done with that.
So you have something to pull because you brought it in and
Yeah, I
it's
brought it
thicker.
in, so now there's some clay there.
Ah.
And usually, if you notice this ledge is a little bit wonky, that pretty much happens.
I mean,
Every
yours
once-
is hardly walking at all.
But it pretty, you know, everyone, unless the only thing you throw is oil bottles, maybe you get so good that it never happens. So I'm just continuing to bring it in as I did that pull. And then I'll do another. And I'm actually using my little pinky because this is such a small area, especially for you, Mike, because you've got bigger hands. So I'm just
On the outside?
on the outside. Yeah, it's just my pinky doing the pull. And on the inside, it's just my middle finger.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got bigger hands, just figure out, you know, maybe it would be this finger. And then I'll check to see where we are. Still got quite a bit of space, so I'll color it in more. So now I'm just kind of getting the fit right. And then let's
Yeah,
check.
that's gonna be very nice.
Yeah, so that's like right on. So now I'm just gonna use my needle tool.
So you turn that upside down so you have the widest part to
Right, the
measure.
widest part, and I know, just from doing this before, that this wine bottle will, or this wine cork, if it fits like this in here, it'll fit the other wine stoppers that we have that have that little flapper.
Those are nice inserts.
Yeah, they are. Probably didn't need to cut that much off, but I didn't really want it that tall. So then I'll just do a final rib on this guy. And then I'm gonna support it as I get up to here with my finger. And then I'll do just a chamois over that to smooth the rib. Rim, not rib. And then I'll do one final check. Just make sure I didn't close it up too much. Yep, still perfect. So then all I'll do to get that round thing is I'll just bring this tool in to round it off. And because I don't want to trim these, I'll sometimes even take a trimming tool and just round that off. So let me just get.
I have that trimming tool. I've never learned how to use that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nice for making.
I never thought of
It's
using
like
that
a
way.
Asian trimming tool,
I didn't really understand.
but now it's kind of got this nice little rounded thing here.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to dry my hands off and wire under it.
And that's all there is to it.
And that's all there is to it. Go make 100 of them, Mike.